Breakfast Club, you're with me, Ben Ibrahim, and before the commercial break, my colleague Shah spoke about music management. Today, on this great Friday of Diwali, we're speaking about a career in music. Now, before the commercial break, Shah spoke with Ili Farhana, who's an academic music lecturer, and spoke about very much behind the scenes. But continuing with this topic of careers in music, I'm going to talk to our guest here, our very tall guest here, about what it's like to have a career in music in the front line, very much performing on stage. And I'd like to welcome to the Breakfast Club, then none other, Mr. Johan Baker. Johan, how are you?
I'm okay, I'm good.
Okay, now Johan, tell us a bit about yourself, my friend. Like you grew up in the UK, born in the UK.
Yes.
A Malaysian mother, a British father.
Yep.
But you decided to come back and further your music career in Malaysia. Why?
Well, actually, it wasn't really for my career.
It wasn't for your career?
More because of, searching for my roots again.
Because getting in touch with the roots, I love that.
Yeah, something like that. I spent all my life in England.
Right.
I thought, it's about time I spent a bit of time here in Malaysia. But every time I've come here, on holidays, visiting my family.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've never wanted to leave. So I thought, if I don't do it by now, I'll never come.
No. Now, Johan, tell us, welcome back to Malaysia, my friend. It's great to have you with us. Malaysians coming back to Malaysia to get in touch with their roots. I know the government is trying to lure back very talented Malaysians to work back in Malaysia to strengthen the workforce, and we also need it in the music industry as well. But he's a talent, and there's a lot of talented musicians out there as well, so he's here to very much, get in touch with his roots and prosper his music career. Now, Johan, music has always been in you. You said to me when we first met that you wanted to have a career in music. You didn't want anything else. You wanted a career in music. Why?
Actually, I think it's
what's the attraction? What you got bitten by the bug?
I think my mum had always seen that I could,
good old
sing.
Mum, yeah,
sing ever since I was a little child. And thankfully for her, my voice wasn't too annoying.
Yeah.
But it was actually down to my youngest uncle here in Malaysia.
Oh, really?
He gave me my first instrument.
Oh, which instrument was that?
It was a keyboard, a Casio keyboard.
Casio keyboard.
And
I remember those days. Yeah.
And also guitar as well. I took it home with me when I came visiting here when I was 7 years old. And that started me on that journey.
Okay.
And I've not fallen from it since.
Now, Johan, I know what many of our viewers are thinking. They're saying to themselves on this Diwali day, where have they seen you before? I'm going to enlighten them. I'm not going to tease you, my friend.
Oh dear.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, folks, our friend here, our guest here, Johan Baker, was part of the 50 most gorgeous people on Female magazine. So if you open up to page 21, there he is, Charles Johan Baker.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure many fans are going to tease you for that, so get this month's copy of Female magazine. And
Make
you can
it to some wonderful things, yeah.
But all jokes aside, Johan, you studied music at Oxford, out of all places. Now, most people who do go to Oxford, they're very much enter the corporate world, whether they study philosophy, English literature, geography, economics, they still go work in the corporate world, whether in consulting or banking and finance. But you studied music. You did an MA in music. And you said, my question here is, are you attracted to is the lure of temptation of joining the corporate line, and joining that safer career path, or do you still really want to go out there and really push your music career?
I think all creative people find that, if they're not doing something creative with their life, that they feel maybe slightly dead inside.
Yeah.
So I always, when I was sort of seeing that kind of possibility as a corporate career, I see that it wasn't for me sort of going to the office every day.
Okay,
nothing against
no,
people who want to do that.
Of course not.
And all, my friends who are doing that, civil servants, merchant bankers, management consultants, they're earning very, very, very good money in the city of London.
I'm sure they are. Yeah.
For me, it was more important that I was able to continue to do my music and hopefully still earn enough to put bread on the table, at the very least.
Feed the rice bowl, that's what it's all about, and doing what you love. But tell us about what you love doing in terms of music. Now, tell us about the work that you've done in the UK, like, the bands that you've played with, maybe some of the albums that you've cut, and some of the work that you've done in your music academic when you were at Oxford, music academic career when you were at Oxford, yeah?
Well, as soon as I left university, I got into doing performing. and set up. Well, my brother is also a musician. He plays guitar.
Wow,
I play piano.
Talented family.
Yeah, so we both sang together, and then eventually we set up a full band.
Right.
And
what was the name of the band?
The band. Well, I had 2 bands actually.
You had 2 bands.
Yeah,
wow. Most people, I'd struggle to get into one. Yeah.
I know, maybe I'm a bit greedy, but I had one band that was for actually earning the real money, which is, playing at events and weddings and things like that.
And functions and all that.
That was called the Fun Time Frankies.
The Fun Time Frankies.
I know, it's
That's a catchy name.
Very cheesy name.
But catchy, though.
But frankly, we were a fun time. Yeah. So we did our weddings and corporate events, that kind of thing. And it was great fun. I loved doing that.
Really, yeah.
But alongside that, as I say, being creative as well in writing songs, I needed to have a band that did my original music as well. So that was called We Are the Mighty.
We Are the Mighty.
And that was probably the hardest thing to give up, actually. From moving over to England to here.
To Malaysia, yeah.
Is, leaving, being in a really great band. And
where you're set up and the relationships are good and everything like that.
So I'm finding new musicians here and trying to collaborate with as many people as I can, I think that's the best thing with music. You can always sit in your bedroom writing music, can't you, on your own. That's fine, you want to do that, but I think the greatest thing with being creative is with other people.
Right. Now, like you said, you was to stop playing in the band in the UK, you gave that up and you really enjoyed that. You came back to Malaysia and you've been back in Malaysia for almost a year now.
Yes,
Tell us about the music industry here in Malaysia coming from an international perspective.
Well, I've been blessed to have a great management company I'm working with.
Fantastic.
And they've helped me to meet some really good people.
Good contacts and stuff like that.
So, the first thing I've done, which is my single that's been out at the moment, is a duet that I've written and produced for myself and Jacqueline Victor.
Wow.
Most of our viewers
doesn't get much bigger than that. Yeah. Jacqueline Victor, woo!
She's, actually, when I first saw her videos on the internet and things like that, I got to admit I was quite intimidated.
Yeah,
because she's such a good singer.
She's a great singer.
When you got to be able to match up to that kind of talent, it's like, oh my god,
it's a bit daunting, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I've been doing that and then producing for other artists and doing a few shows here.
Right.
As far as it's compared to the to the scene in the UK, every country has its own, different ways of doing things.
Right.
The kind of stuff that I did in the UK, playing at weddings and that kind of thing. We were always at the end of the night dancing, doing the dancing kind of music. Here, maybe it might be more sort of playing during while the people are eating, helping their digestion.
Yeah.
But it's. I think with any type of industry that you go into, whether it's music or any other thing, it's all down to hard work, isn't it? Whether you're successful.
Grit and hard work. Now, Johan, just tell us about where we can, if we want to have a sample of your music, we want to see some of your work, is there a website or a search engine that we can go to that, I'm sure many of the girls out there will be like tweeting Johan Baker now, or, sorry, Googling Johan Baker now and finding out who this talented musician is and, where can we find you, my friend, on the big World Wide Web?
Indeed. Facebook. Facebook is always the place to go, isn't it, these days?
Do you have a personality profile or music profile?
Yeah, I've got one of those fan pages.
Fan pages, you gotta have that,
so if you want to be my fan, join my fan page. Okay. So go to facebook.com /Johan Baker.
Okay. Now, 2010 is almost finished. We're about 7 weeks away to 2011. God, the year has gone by so quickly. What can we expect from you in 2011? Now, 2010, you sang with Jacqueline Victor. Wow, such a great achievement. But 2011, what can we expect, my friend?
Well, actually, I did 2 tracks with Jacqueline. Because we just got carried away in the studio.
Well, you're teasing us here. You're teasing us
so
here.
There'll be another song coming out.
Yeah.
Listen out for the one that's on the radio and, ring up the radio stations and go, you better play Johan's new single with Jacqueline. Okay. It's called Your Hands.
Your Hands. How creative is that? You should also be a copywriter. I like the name of your band. I like the way you, put together words. It's just absolutely amazing. Very, very Oxford, shall I say.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we're running out of time. But sticking with our topic of having a career in music, what's your advice for all Malaysians out there? We learned with Ili Farhana in the first part of this block that, about a career behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But if you want to be in front of the scenes, like what you're doing. Whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Malaysia, whether you're in any part of the world for that matter, what's your advice for our audience today?
I think, well, first of all, yes, learn your instrument as good as you can.
Right.
Improve your talent as much as you can. But
Practice.
Most important thing is hard work and persistence.
Really?
Really, I mean, you know, you look at people, say like, for example, the Spice Girls. You know, that you look at them and say, oh, they've got no talent. You know, how the hell did they succeed? Mm-hmm. Well, they have got one talent, and that's working really hard.
They did work hard.
And you know, when you're persistent like that, you will achieve your dreams.
Okay. Now, this is something that I like to do to all our celebrity artists.
Okay.
Can you just please sing us a few songs before we, go for the news breaks?
Okay.
Well, no, sorry, a few lines, maybe just a bit of a teaser. Can you sing something like, could be anything? We just want to preview the Johan Baker voice.
Okay.
You know?
I could sing a little bit of my single.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Anything you want, sir.
Excuse my morning voice. Musicians are not used to this time of day.
No, musicians sort of like get into gear at about 12 o'clock. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
that's
that.
the beginning of the day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've got about 3.5 hours to wake up.
Okay, it goes like this. But now I'm in your hands. All that I am is in your hands. So hold me. There you go.
Whoa, that is great. In your hands. We're just going to take a short break here, but stick with us on The Breakfast Club. At 9 o'clock, we've got some very, very interesting stories, and we've got some prizes to give away as well. So stick with us. It's 8:30 now, or almost 8:30, but 9 o'clock, we've got some very cool stuff for you. Only here on The Breakfast Show. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Thanks very much, my friend. Hey, that was cool.